In Year 3, there are 5 methods we teach for subtraction. Today we will be looking at the expanded column method where exchanging is required. This extends the children's learning from the expanded column method where they do not need to exchange. We are going to go through the method step by step, ticking the steps of learning off as we go along. So our first step to learning is to read the question. 65 take away 37 equals. We can tick that off. Our next step is to partition the numbers. So 65 becomes 60, add 5. And 37 becomes 30, add 7. We can tick that off. Put the numbers into the columns. As you can see, the 60 and the 30 line up into the tens columns, and the 5 and the 7 lines up into the ones column. We can tick that off. Now we need to draw our answer lines. You can see I've used a ruler to draw 2 straight lines for my answer lines. Our next step is to subtract from the right. 5 take away 7. We are unable to do 5 take away 7, so we need to exchange from the tens. 60 take away 10 becomes 50. We can now carry this 10 into the ones column. So the 5 now becomes 15. 15 take away 7 equals 8. Now we can move on to subtracting the tens. 50 take away 30 equals 20. Let's tick that off. Now we need to check our answer. So 65 take away 37. We've exchanged 10 from the tens and carried this over into the ones. So 5 became 15. 15 take away 7 equals 8. And 50 take away 30 equals 20. Now we need to combine our answer together. 20 add 8 equals 28. Once the children have grasped this method, they will then extend their learning onto the compact method with exchanging.
We teach 3 methods of subtraction in Year 4, all linked to the compact column method. This builds on and extends Year 3's learning of subtraction using the expanded column method. Firstly, let's take a look at our learning objective. To be able to subtract 2 4-digit numbers using a compact method. I'm going to take you through 2 methods today that will help you achieve this learning. Our number sentence says 4,365 subtract 2,527, and we're going to use our steps to learning to help us solve this calculation. The first step is to write the numbers in columns. As you can see, I have already written the calculation out, with each digit in a square to help keep the numbers in neat columns. My next step is to draw the answer lines. Doing this with a ruler helps to keep our learning neat. Next, we need to start subtracting. As you are aware from previous learning, we always start from the right. We are going to start here in the ones column. So 5 subtract 7. I cannot do this, so I need to look at the next column, the tens. There are 6 tens, so I'm going to exchange the 6 tens to 5 tens and carry the 1 10 to the ones column. I now have 15 subtract 7, which equals 8. We then move to the tens column, and I have 5 tens subtract 2 tens, which equals 3 tens. The next column is the hundreds, and I have 300 subtract 500. I am unable to do this, so just like before, I go to the next column, the thousands. There are 4,000, so I'm going to exchange the 4,000 to 3000, and I'm going to carry the 1000 across to the hundreds column. I now have 13 subtract 5, which equals 8. The final column is the thousands. We have 3000 subtract 2000, which equals 1000. Looking at our steps to learning, did we add from the right? Yes. Did we exchange? Yes. And the final step is to check our learning. 5 subtracts 7. We couldn't do this, so we exchanged with the tens. 15 subtracts 7 leaves us with 8. 50 subtracts 20 left us with 30. 300 subtract 500. We couldn't do this, so we exchanged with the 1000. 13 subtract 5 equals the 8. 3000 subtract 2000 left us with 1000. The second method I'm going to share with you uses the same steps to learning. Our number sentence this time says 5403 subtract 2146. The first step is to write the numbers in columns. Again, you can see I've already written the calculation out with each digit in a square to help keep the numbers in neat columns. My next step is to draw the answer lines. Doing this with a ruler helps to keep our learning neat. Next, we need to start subtracting. As you are aware, we always start from the right. We are going to start here in the ones column. So 3 subtracts 6. I can't do this, so I need to look at the next column, the tens. There are 0 tens, so this time I need to go to the hundreds column. I'm going to exchange the 400s to 300s and carry the 100 into the tens column. But I then need to exchange again, so I exchange the 10 tens to 9 tens, and I carry the 110 to the ones column. I now have 13 subtract 6, which equals 7. We then move to the tens column. I have 9 tens subtract 4 tens, which leaves me with 5 tens. The next column is the hundreds, and I have 300 subtract 100, which leaves me with 200. Finally, the thousands. We have 5000 subtract 2000, which leaves me with 3000. Looking at our steps to learning, did we start from the right? Yes. Did we need to exchange? Yes. And the final step is to check. 3 subtract 6. We couldn't do this, so we needed to go to the tens. There were no tenths, so we went to the hundreds. We exchanged the 400 to a 300. We carried the 100 across to the tens. We then exchanged the 10 tens to 9 tens, and we carried the 110 to the 1. 13 subtract 6 left me with 7. 90 subtract 40 left me with 50. 300 subtract 100 left me with 200, and 5000 subtract 2000 left me with 3000. Following these steps to learning, you will be able to achieve the learning objective of being able to subtract 2 4-digit numbers using a compact method. You will then be ready to extend your learning further by subtracting a mixed amount of digits.